Hey everybody, Pastor Wes here. Just wanted to film a quick update about this weekend and then about some information in the coming weeks that I'm excited to announce. I know in the summer we really got excited about July 12th as a big kickoff, restarting our groups and our kids and preschool men and youth ministry activities. And then July 12th got here and the coronavirus hit Abilene pretty strong, and we canceled pretty much everything. In fact, even canceled services on that first weekend back. And it was a punch in the gut. I'm going to be honest. I know it discouraged me a lot, and I know it discouraged many of you. And we've been still meeting on Sunday mornings and just recently started back our kids in preschool ministry. But the numbers of people have certainly not increased to the degree that I thought maybe would be the case. And I think the increase in COVID cases has a lot to do with that. That being said, there are more and more people expressing more and more interest about coming back to church. I know that the back to school stuff is getting many people excited, and many parents are happy to get their kids back in school. And so we've decided to put a date on the calendar to get everything going back in motion in our world as well. And so we've decided to bring our adult small groups back on campus starting August 16th. And so I'm filming this August 1. So in a couple of short weeks from now, we'll bring our adult small groups back on campus. We'll have our youth ministry groups that'll be available on Sunday morning. Our kids in preschool ministry obviously they're already meeting, but they will have kind of their full meal deal available. And we're going to bring back all three of our morning service times. I know that we keep changing the times, and a lot of people aren't super excited about that. So we wanted to get as close back to normal as we could. But the fact that we have to do social distancing and all the requirements as per the guidance that's been put out, we still needed to increase a little bit of time between our services. And so we've actually decided to create a little more distance than what used to be there for the time being. These may not be the permanent changes, but we wanted to get back to 3 services because I've gotten a lot of feedback that many 11 o'clock worship people can only make it at 11 o'clock because they may work late at night, or the hours don't work where they can make it early in the morning. And I know that some of our 8:25 people, if we were to put a traditional service at 11 o'clock, there wouldn't be a lot of love for that either, because they're so used to the early morning services. And so we still want to do a traditional service and a contemporary service, but we're going to put it back like we used to have it. And so starting on, let me get this little thing here. Starting on August 16th, our adult small groups are going to resume. And so if you used to attend an adult small group at 9:40, that group's now going to meet at 9:30. And if you used to have a small group at 11 o'clock, that group's going to continue to meet at 11 o'clock. Now, if you're a small group leader and you're not comfortable having your group meet again, then you talk to your group, and that's perfectly fine. But we're going to strongly encourage all of those who are able and willing to host their groups to go ahead and do that, and to get the ball rolling and to announce that August 16th. This is a couple of weeks before, actually 1 week before school starts. I thought it'd give us time to work out all the kinks. And we're also going to try and train our group leaders so that they can do Zoom in their classes for those who can't make it. Maybe they can tune in virtually, at least for the groups that want to do that. So those are our meeting times for small groups. And then also on August 16th, we're going to resume our 3 worship services. And so we'll have an early service at 8:15 now instead of 8:20 or 8:30, various different times that we've had it. Our traditional worship service will be at 8:15, and as soon as that service is over, then the traditional service people who go to a small group will go to that group at 9:30, and then we'll have our contemporary service at 9:30 instead of 9:40. And the contemporary service will just be like it always has been. And then at 11 o'clock, we're going to have we're calling it a online style service. If you've been paying attention, many of the live stream numbers on our Sunday morning services have gone down over the past weeks and months. And in doing some research on this, I think a lot of people are, number one, just growing weary of doing online church, but number two, the style of church that you have when you're not in person with a great number of people is a little bit different than if you were to show up on campus with a large number of people singing and hearing a sermon. And because it's difficult to target a service for both audiences at the same time, we tried to do that, albeit a little unsuccessfully. We wanted to create a style of service just for online viewers, or people who are either having to stay home because they're high risk, or new people that we've reached through the online mediums, that we could raise the quality of that online service if we change the style. And so at 11 o'clock, we're going to target our service style to an online audience. Now, that doesn't mean people can't show up in person. They're obviously welcome. And so if you're an 11 o'clock worship service attendee and you can only make it at 11, then you're welcome to join us. But it's going to be a service styled for people meeting in their homes, or maybe even small groups meeting in their homes. And the sermon will be shorter. The music will be shorter. It'll be different. It'll be post-produced, and so it'll be filmed beforehand and then kind of played post-production with higher quality sound. We'll add in discussion questions, and we'll have a host before and after the music and the message, and it's just going to be a little bit different. Now, we don't have all the kinks worked out, but that's what we're thinking for 11 o'clock. So it'll be a shorter service, a totally different style, but it will be available on campus for those who want to do that. So we are getting back to 3 services. We'll have the traditional service at 8:15, contemporary at 9:30, and another contemporary service at 11 o'clock for the online audience. Adult small groups will meet back at 9:30 and 11. And then if you have your kids, remember, you can even do this starting this weekend, to register them online at broadview.life/gather. We have a limited number of capacity that we have for our kids because, number one, we don't have enough volunteers yet to staff our full wing, so that limits the number of children we can bring in. And then number two, it just kind of helps us to be prepared when people show up, and all the kind of the registration and guesswork is taken care of beforehand. So if you've got children and you're going to bring them, you need to register them. You can even do it first thing Sunday morning if you want, but be sure and register them. If you're watching this and you're a guest to our church, or maybe you've never come and you're seeing this online or something, we do have spots available for people who don't register, and so we've got some spots for guests. But if you're part of our church family, we encourage you to go ahead and pre-register. And so this is all happening August 16th, and I want to get the word out now so that you've got some time to adjust. So if right now, this weekend, we've got services at 8:30 and 10:15, and we'll continue to do that for the next 2 Sundays. But starting August 16th, we're moving back to 3 service times, 8:15, 9:30, and 11 o'clock. I'm excited about it. I'm also not super excited about it. I think that the attendance numbers being what they've been, it'll probably be pretty low attendance for a good bit into the future. Honestly, I think COVID-19 is here to stay. It is something we're going to have to learn to live with. And I'm not saying that as a way of saying you need to come back to church in person. Many of you, given your risk level, you probably shouldn't come back in person until vaccine or some sort of other breakthrough medically makes it less dangerous for those at-risk people. It is a serious virus, a dangerous virus, especially for those who get seriously sick from it. And so I'm not saying that to say get back in church and get back to the normal way of doing things. I'm just saying that so that you know, coming back to church may look different, may feel different, and may feel different for quite some time. And so we want to do everything we can to make the worship services very, very good when you're here on campus. But we also want to produce something and create an online experience of worship that is just as excellent as would be if you were in the room. And so we're going to have to do it 2 different ways. And again, this is all in pencil. We're not sure it's going to work, but it's just something we've been thinking about and think that the Lord may use to bless and reach new people. So I hope you'll join us in person this weekend. And then for sure, spread the word. Let people know about August 16th. If you are a volunteer, we need as many volunteers coming back as we can in our hospitality teams, and for sure our preschool and children's ministries. You can talk to Tiffany in the preschool wing, or Aura there in the kids wing, and then you can certainly talk to me or Pastor Joseph or Taylor about any of the other volunteer slots. I hope that you have a great rest of your weekend, and I hope to see many of you tomorrow. You are sent.